morning, everybody. Welcome to Transwest Truck Trailer RV here in Frederick, Colorado. My name's Taylor, and today we're going to be going over a 2022 Newmar Baystar. So if you guys are in the market for a used, low mileage, just under 14,000 miles, then go ahead and stick around. We're going to go ahead and take a walk around the outside first, and then we'll end off on the inside. So let's go ahead and get on into it. We'll start up front here. Just to point out this nice little camera here, so you do have a nice little blind spot, so when you turn on that blinker, it'll kind of show you who is there. It is on a Ford V8. We'll kind of get more into the chassis specs later, but then we do have our M156 for those tires. These are the Toyos, and then just normal stainless steel rim there, nothing too crazy. As far as this exterior paint, I'm always draw a blank on the name, sorry. So it's the Rider exterior paint. It's kind of like a burnt orange, brown concoction here. I can't really pinpoint exactly what this color is, but beautiful full body paint here. And then as we work our way up, we have our awning, and it specifically said as far as the awning color, it's the linen tweed. So if you wanted to actually see what that color is, I can go ahead and send you the actual brochure for 2022, and you can kind of dive into more specs as well, but I have that handy if needed. We'll go ahead and keep moving down forward. This floor plan is the 3626, so it's a 36-foot gas coach, and then the 26 is just the specific floor plan. But we'll go ahead and start looking into this underbelly storage. Over to the right, we have our inverter, which this one has a 1,200 watt inverter specifically for that bedroom. Right over here, just more storage space and some extra, it looks like little floor mats or coverings for the windows, maybe. Not exactly sure, just left over for the next owner from the previous owners. This is still connects, so we still have those extra appliances there as well as that flooring. One more. This one's actually empty, so you can kind of see a little bit more of what it looks like. So you have that nice carpeted interior there, nice to vacuum and keep things from kind of sliding around a little bit. Do have the upgrade for the outdoor entertainment, so you have your Samsung TV in here, and then the charging is actually right over here to the right. So if you needed to charge any other electronics or anything from the outside, you have the option of doing so from here. One more storage bay here. This one actually does have the light, which is on, so I'm just going to turn that off really quick. And then you do have two more outlets in there for charging as well, which is right behind that light. All right, moving on over to our Cummins Onan. This is the QG 5,500 watt generator. And then we do have our little tank pads here, so that's great for those colder months, just to kind of keep minimal freeze damage to protect everything for you. And then you have a smaller little cubby here, just in case if you wanted to put any items in here. More storage, a little smaller and narrower. And the last one for this passenger side. All right, as we work our way to the back here, we can go ahead and start at the top. We do have our nice ladder, so if you needed access to the roof, you can go ahead and do that. You don't have to worry about storing a ladder, which is nice. And then we have our big, beautiful backup camera up there as well, in addition to the window, which will be in that master bedroom. A lot of people are a fan of the back, this rear window situation. As far as the Baystars, really lets in a lot of natural light. So opens up the space there. And then we just have our hitch, and we have our 7-way connector, and then the exhaust is just right over next to that for that generator. First bay on the driver's side, we just have our 50 amp shore power cord as well as our surge guard protector in there. And then of course some extra storage. Just another storage bay here, and then directly across from that, we just have a nice little cubby dedicated to those hoses, so you don't have to worry about them sliding around, getting other things dirty that shouldn't. And then we have our fuel here for the gasoline, which is 80 gallons. And moving on to our wet bay. For the gray, as far as tank capacities, we have gray is 60 gallons, black is 40 gallons, and fresh is going to be 75. We have our fresh water filter that will go in here. And then we have our nice outdoor shower located here. And then our black and freshwater city connections are very accessible as well. And then if you needed to turn on your water pump, you do have a nice little dedicated switch there for you. And then directly across from here is just where you'll go ahead and connect those slinkies to go ahead and dump your tanks, which you have them labeled here. The gray is for the gray water, and then your black for your sewage. Super simple and straightforward, and pretty clean for one of the dirtier bays. Right over here we have our Truma AquaGo. So this is your tankless water heater, of course, and it's a continuous water heater as well, so that was an upgrade. And next to that, we just have a little bit of storage capacity. Some more here, we have the obstruction of some more tanks. Sweet, and as we work our way down, in that very last bay, we have our interstate batteries. So those are for the house batteries. It is on a nice little hinge. You just have to pull the pin right here and you can go ahead and slide them out. There is a total of 3 in here. And moving on over here to our propane tank. This can hold a total of 25 gallons here, which will also be for your heater. Your furnace is going to be propane, so just to keep that in mind. Our other blinker our other camera for that blinker. And then up front here, we just have our chassis. This is the Ford V Series. It's powered by a 7.3 liter V8 engine, 350 horsepower, and it has 468 foot-pounds of torque. Big thing about the Class A, you have a huge windshield. I did want to point out, just because the previous customers, I don't know if you've seen these in campgrounds before, but you see all those little black magnet things. That's just so you can go ahead and put a cover on your windshield if you are staying somewhere for a long period of time to help with insulation, especially if the sun is beating down. Just having a nice another layer there instead of having to just use that blackout shade, which I have down right now. All right. That's gonna wrap it up for the outside, so let's go ahead and take our first few glimpses of the inside. I'll go ahead and let you guys enter first so you can kind of see the space with all the slides closed, and then I will open them for you. All right. There we go. All right, we'll go ahead and get our first slide out here. So in addition to the exterior being the rider, it's also the rider decor. And then you have the Harbor Maple glazed for the wood. So it's kind of like a softer, more natural brown color. All right, and then we'll get that next slide. Really opens things up having a dual slide on either side. Perfect. Alrighty, since this is a 2022, we have to go around and kind of hit all the light switches here, so it is a little bit dimmer, but we'll go ahead and work our way in the back here so I can get the last 2 slides open. So this is a quad slide floor plan. I'll try to get out of the way so you can somewhat see, but Having 2 slides in the bedroom really opens it up as well. Nice king bed, padded headboard, storage above, and having your own little counter space on each side with additional charging. And of course that big beautiful window we talked about earlier really brings in a lot of light, given that there are no lights on. Sorry, there we go. All right, and the last slide, which is right behind me. Perfect. All right, perfect. So as you can see, this one does have a nice little blackout as well as a day shade if needed, so if you didn't want as much sunlight in here. But as you could see too, before we entered, there are no lights on, and this really let in a lot of natural light. As far as the storage space, I was mentioning as the slides were opening, they are fairly deep, and then you do have 2 charging directly in the middle, and then you can go ahead and slinky through any of the wiring through here, so you can still have it connected like a phone charger or anything like that. You don't have to keep your phone up here in the cabinet at night while it's charging. Or you can go ahead and just use the charging that is directly next to your bed if needed as well. And then you have a little bit of storage over there. 2 windows on either side for a nice little cross breeze if you weren't able to run that generator at the campground, or you didn't have the 50 amp plugins. So you can go ahead and open up those windows, get a nice cross breeze to make sure you're keeping yourself nice, cool, and comfortable. All right. Directly behind us is going to be where we hang all of our clothes here. And it looks like you do have one more charging option available. The TV is just plugged in here as well. But if you needed to sneak something in there to have charged, you can have that as well. And then you have a total of 5 drawers, all the same size, for storage. And then this one is just a false drawer. It's a cover for those receivers or any of the TV gadgets that are needed. This window is nice because it's duals as an emergency exit, of course. You still have your blackout shade and your day shade, and then having the nice little counter space here makes it nice as well. And then your Samsung TV up above. All right, we'll go ahead and work our way out here. I'll just show you the washer and dryer, because no matter which side you're on, I'm going to block you with the door. But you do have that. And then you do have a nice little pocket door here, of course, that will close things off for you. So then if you needed some privacy, go ahead and close that off, and then it automatically locks when you have it open. Moving on into our bathroom here, you have a huge mirror on the side, which is nice, so you can kind of open it up. And then let me turn the lights on, but I'll let you guys get a nice little overview first of that bathroom before I obstruct everything by entering. But you have your nice Dometic toilet, plenty of storage space. And then I'll go ahead and just open up the cabinet, starting at the top. Nothing too crazy here, just besides all of the breakers. And then our fuses right over here. And then it looks like the previous customer went ahead and labeled some things for you. So your kitchen, reefer, microwave, all the important things. Very nice to have. And then we have some more storage in the corner here, which is fairly deep. And then of course a nice little medicine cabinet. And then directly above that we have our fantastic fan. Plenty of counter space here. Our lighting, and then for that fantastic fan, and then our water pump switch is just right front and center, so you don't have to worry about losing it. And then your 2 charging options here. Now I'll just go ahead and get into the storage that you have right here. Nice huge drawer. This one has a chain, so you don't have to worry about hitting the toilet, but plenty of storage capacity under there. And then directly underneath the sink, you have your cabinet, toilet paper holder that pops out, and then some more storage in your drawer. Soft closed on the drawer. As we enter our shower here, you have a bigger dome, more like skylight situation to give you some more headroom. but you do have a nice little glass shower, and then some cubbies here to go ahead and set up your soaps. Looks like the previous customer went ahead and added a nice little hanging thing there for some loofahs if needed, and then some more storage, and then your shower head. It's just winterized right now, so we have it hanging down, but you can go ahead and clip it up here. Very spacious shower. I mean, I can barely touch the roof. I'm 5'7", so if that gives you a roundabout idea of how spacious it is, I hope that helped. All right. Sliding on down to our kitchen area. Here is our pantry with the adjustable shelves. So you have a total of 4 shelves and then some more space up above. This is a through and through space, so I can go ahead and open up that other one for you. But this Norcold fridge was an upgraded option too, just because it does have the ice maker. And I like how it has the brown cover just to kind of blend in with all the cabinets. That stainless steel sometimes just gets to you because of all the fingerprints and whatnot get on it. So having this wood paneling as a cover not only makes it feel nice and luxurious and homey, but then you don't have to worry about cleaning it all the time. Ice maker up top, 2 individual freezers, plenty of room for all of those, you know, pre-prepped meals before you take your venture. All right, moving on to the kitchen area. Let me see, here we go. Turn on some more lights for you. Okay. So we have our Whirlpool microwave here, which also has the air fryer option in it. We have our propane cooktop with a nice little cover that just automatically folds. You can take it completely off if you aren't a fan of that. And then of course the drawers underneath. Just slowly go in and open up all the drawers in the bottom. Again with the soft closed. Directly underneath the sink. And the pull down. Moving on to the sink, we have the 2 covers. So you have 2 rectangular sinks, perfect for that wash and rinse to save some fresh water capacity. Nice little kitchen window here and a beautiful backsplash that complements the rest of the decor. And then when you do need some more counter space, you could just have everything covered up so you have plenty of room for everything. And then as far as the last storage space in the kitchen, this is what we got. I am a fan of this little ledge just because when you are going down the road, if you wanted to put any appliances or anything up here like a coffee maker, you don't have to worry about it sliding down, moving around, or just things rolling off the counter and then getting stuck in between your couch here. So I do appreciate that. Right over here we have our Bose sound bar that's on our televator, which I will go ahead and push a button here so you can kind of see that TV pop up. But before that, as you can see, you have that big window space, which has the twists, so you can go ahead and just open it. And then you do have your blackout and day shades. So if you wanted to black out any of the sun coming in. As far as the couch, these cushions do come off and they come off all in one piece. I like how it has 2 separate cushions, and honestly the condition that all of the furniture is in is still really nice. And I really am digging this color. I wish they kind of still had it, honestly. But as far as the bed situation, you just have to pull that off. Let me see if they have it just pulls out. There should be a little strand, but it got caught back there. You just pull it out. The legs will pop out once you do that. So it'll be nice and flush. And then you just pop this piece down. So no worrying about blowing up a mattress or anything like that, like in the older models. This is a little bit more comfortable As you can see, it's not completely flush, but it is very padded and foamy, just which will make it nice and comfortable. And fairly easy to set up and put away. And you're all done. There we go. All right. You have a nice little ledge here for the couch, so if you needed to kind of set anything down, a drink, soda, anything like that, or wanted to tuck away some remotes or put some goodies in there, you have that option. I hate being stranded, having to hold your cup, so it's nice to have somewhere to set that down. And then we'll go ahead and just jump on the opposite side of the RV here, start back up in front. You have this nice glass covering, so you can put whatever you'd like in here. Adjustable shelves, and then down below, same thing, just a little wider, and then you have just the wooden doors instead of the glass. Directly across, we have our table and chairs, but as you can see, once you do opt into getting the tables and chairs, you have all of that storage under you. And then you have a tremendous amount of counter space here. So it's kind of like having a table here as well as in the middle of you guys. And it does fully extend. So you can just have like a lot of space, perfect for games, setting things up here, or if you needed to work while you're on the road. This is an awesome floor plan for that, because you can go ahead and slinky through all of your gadgets here, put the printer down here if needed, and then I believe the other side should have a filing cabinet. So you will be locked and loaded and ready to go as far as that. Add in some more lighting for you. And as we work our way down here, you just have your two swivelly chairs, more storage up above, and plenty of windows. I can also turn on the lights for you here. Kind of dual as nice little reading lights, but if you wanted to go ahead and kick back and relax and watch some television, you have the option of doing that. And then you still have, this one has a spot where you can go ahead and put your drink, and then the other one does right over here as well, in addition to that counter space. All right. Don't want to skip over this. This is all the goods as far as for just go ahead and looking at your LP and all of your tank levels. This is your controller for that Truma. Down below here is just for your battery disconnect. It is pre-wired for solar. There currently aren't any solar panels up there besides the one that's dedicated for the chassis. We have our wine guard, awning, step. So if we wanted to go ahead and step override it, so every time you close the door, it doesn't bring those steps in. Both of our slide controllers, awning controllers. This one's just for the lights. This is to actually operate it. And then to turn your tank heating pads on, you can't turn them on simultaneously. It's either all or nothing. And then we just have our power control system here, and then our Zan track, so we can go ahead and turn that on and set it to our likings as well. Right over here, as far as the passenger, you can kind of see you have, I'm not going to mess with it. I feel like I've already been finagling things, but you have a nice little thing here. You'll pull it out, and it's a nice little desk. And then you have a cup holder, plenty of room. If that doesn't do it for you, you can also pull this out, and this operates as a nice little desk or just a little table, because once you have these swiveled, this will create like another dining area for you, or if you just wanted to kick back and relax or have more than one person in here, it's just somewhere else to kind of keep them nice and comfortable. And now we'll work our way over here to the chassis stuff. We have our equalizer leveling system over here. So our HWH, go ahead and power that on, and with a click of a button, you can go ahead and level out your coach. Nice little cup holder. We have our battery boost. So say that the chassis battery is not working for some reason, you can't fire up the coach, you go ahead and just push this down, and it will use the house battery power to jump your chassis, so you'll never be stranded, which is great. We have our generator, start and stop, and then the fans, high, medium, and low, and our dome light. This is just for all other light settings, mirror settings, hazard lights, and then for our mirrors, we can go ahead and turn on or off the heater. Sliding over here, we do not have the LED dash. The only part that'll be LED is going to be over here, so that'll be the mileage and a few other little things here. Typical, very standard for your Ford steering wheel here. You can set the cruise control and kind of flip through all of the settings that it has on here, but other than that, very simple and straightforward. You do still have just the regular key. It is not a push start. And then as we work our way over here, all of this stuff for the Voyager is just going to be for our camera systems. So when you do turn on that blinker and you want to look to see if anyone is in your blind spot, this is where you can look to see that. Down below that, we have our radio, and it does have built-in navigation. And then we just have our heating and cooling down below there. Other than that, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for our 2022 Newmar Baystar again. So if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns, or you would just like the brochure, feel free to reach out to me. My information is going to be below, or you can go ahead and just shoot me a text at 970-388-7937. Thanks for tuning in, and have a great day.